Hello, welcome. This is a video I am so excited to make and I've thought about doing for quite a while, and that is I'm going to rank, in case you didn't know, let's just backtrack for a minute. I am an actress and performer and that's what I do with my life, as well as make YouTube videos, read, travel, etc, etc. And in the summer of 2023 I was very lucky to work on a TUI river cruise. I just spilled my tea. Give me a minute. I'm not happy about that. So, as of when I am filming this, TUI has 3 river cruises across the Danube, the Main, the Moselle and the Rhine. But November next year, so 2024, they're going to be introducing another one in Egypt, doing the Nile. And potentially beyond that, they'll include more. But this year I have worked on the TUI Skyla, which actually only works on the Danube and has only gone through 3 itineraries over the course of the summer. And I've quite enjoyed only doing 3 itineraries because on the one hand, I do wish I could have travelled a bit more and explored some more places. But on the other hand, I've really got to know each place very well without it becoming too repetitive, which is why I'm going to rank them. Yay! So this is entirely my own opinion. These are also my own pictures. I think in total it's something like 12 destinations, I believe. I could be mistaken. I think they're in alphabetical order and we're gonna go through them. And I think for some reason this was my first time ever making a tier ranking, and for some reason some of the pictures have been rotated, so just bear with. So the 4 tiers I've got are 100% love, would recommend, it's alright, and don't need to go back. I hope I don't need more. I kind of just made these up on the spot. So the very first destination that we are dealing with is Belgrade. Now, of the 3 itineraries we do, there is one which is called the East Danube Explorer, which we only do once a month, and then the other 2, both are very similar, so we visit a lot of the same places, and also get repeated more frequently in a month. So the ones on the East Danube Explorer are the ones I've done the least. So I do feel like I need to mention that as well, because I've not had as much of an opportunity to explore them. So Belgrade, I liked, it was alright. I wouldn't necessarily need to go back. I don't even know if I'd necessarily recommend it. But I think I'm going to put it in the it's alright category. The next one, Bratislava. Obviously I didn't take this picture, someone took it of me, but you get where I'm going. I adore Bratislava. It's probably my all-time favourite destination of all the places we go to. I would keep going back if I could. So that one can go in 100% love. Next, Budapest. This is an interesting one because this is the one we visit the most, because that's our turnaround port. But because it's our turnaround port, a lot of the time I'm busy with the turnaround, so I don't actually get to go out as much. But I do really like it. I think it's a really nice city and I think there's a lot to do, so I'm going to put it in would recommend. Now for this next one I've actually had to blur the picture because I didn't think about this, but it's got, you know, all the team on it and they've not given me permission. So this picture was taken in a place called Donji Milanovac in Serbia. This is a really sweet little place, but it's tiny, like tiny. And there's not very much to do there. So I'm gonna put it in it's alright, because it is a sweet place, but there's not very much there. Okay, the next picture is taken in Dürnstein, which I love. So that's 100% going in 100% love. Dürnstein is a tiny little village in the Wachau Valley in Austria, and it's beautiful. It's really sweet, really quaint, and then there is the hike you can do up to the fortress, which is where that picture was taken, and you just get the most stunning views. So yeah, Dürnstein definitely holds a special place in my heart. That next picture is taken in Kalocsa, which is in the south of Hungary. And actually that picture is not taken directly in the town, it's taken outside of it where we dock. But I have been inside the town, so I'm going to kind of count this as one big one. And I'm torn between saying it's alright and don't need to go back. But then if I compare it to like Donji Milanovac, I think I'm going to say don't need to go back. It's tiny. And there's even less to do than in Donji Milanovac, but I think like the surrounding nature isn't even as nice as Donji Milanovac. I am glad I did it. With all of these, I'm glad I've visited all of them, but Kalocsa's not really a place I necessarily would recommend, I think. The next one, which is tilted, is Krems. Now Krems is an interesting one because I've actually not gone in myself that many times, even though we have docked there quite a few times. But it is again a really sweet place. It's also in the Wachau Valley, quite near Dürnstein. And it's got this one main sort of pedestrian street, which really reminds me of like Diagon Alley in Harry Potter. And it does have a really nice atmosphere to it. So I'm gonna put it in would recommend. I don't think it's quite on the same page as Budapest when I look at it like that. But I do think it's better than Belgrade and Donji Milanovac. Next, another tilted one, Linz. Linz. Linz is a really hard one because it's the third biggest city in Austria. And it does always have something on. Every time we've been there, there's been something. But personally, it's not reached me. I've not been thrilled by it. I'm gonna put it in it's alright rather than don't need to go back. And some people love it, but it's just, you know, we come here 3 times a month, so quite frequently, but I just don't feel anything towards it. Like if people were to ask me where would you recommend going in Austria, I wouldn't recommend it. But like I say, other people disagree, so I'm gonna put it in it's alright. Next, that picture is taken in Melk. This is another interesting one because Melk itself is fine. It's again very small, not very much. There's a couple of, you know, cafes and things. But the Melk Abbey is magnificent. It's fascinating and beautiful, especially the church at the end of it. And the library, oh, the library has my heart. So I'm gonna put it in would recommend, but it comes with a question mark. Next, another tilted picture, which is from Mohacs, which is also right in the south of Hungary on the border with Serbia. Again, I think Mohacs is okay, but it's not very special. And I don't really feel the need to go back. I don't think I should have titled it that though. Would I recommend, or is it on the same page as Belgrade and Donj? No, I think it's a don't need to go back. It's nice, and I would say it's nicer than Kalocsa, but that's all it is really. I'm just gonna move that because that's annoying me. All right, another tilted. All these pictures are tilted, I don't know why, but the next picture is of Novi Sad. Novi Sad is in Serbia, and it's again one of the ones we don't frequent as many times. But I do really like it. It's got a lovely pedestrian area. It's got a really nice feel to it. It's got another little fortress that you can climb up and get nice views from. I don't know if I should put it in would recommend or 100% love. Because I feel like if I'm looking at those pictures, it's probably on par with Budapest, but it's better than Krems and Melk. But it's not quite as nice as Bratislava and Dürnstein, but it's so close. So it's really somewhere in the middle there, but I am going to put it in would recommend because it's less than Budapest. Or it's on the same page as Budapest. It's really annoying me that those pictures are tilted and I don't know why they are. But anyway. Next, that is a picture of the confluence in Passau. I do like Passau. It is sweet and cute. A lot of the places we visit are just small little cute places, in case you can't tell. But it's not got very much in it. The confluence is lovely. And the town is nice, but I would say it's sort of on par with Melk and Krems, so I think that's going to go in would recommend. 2 left. I hope I've got everything. I hope I haven't forgotten any. That picture is of me in Vienna, on the way to or from the Danube Island, and I don't know where to put Vienna because I like it. It's nice. It's all right. But to me, it doesn't feel special. Like Bratislava really feels special, and so does Dürnstein. And even Budapest, to me, feels more special than Vienna. But Vienna's definitely better than the 3 and it's all right. So I'm going to say would recommend. I think maybe for me, Vienna's just like too big and too much. And too much of the same, I think. But it's still going in would recommend. And that last, again, tilted picture is of Vukovar. Vukovar is another really interesting one. Because originally I probably would have said, don't really need to go back. But actually it's a really fascinating place. And the last time we were there, I discovered just a whole really interesting section, and it does have like a fascinating history. And looking at those pictures, I would say Vukovar is nicer than Belgrade, but it's about on par with Donji Milanovac, although it does actually have more than Donji Milanovac. Ooh, I don't know, if I could, I would put it between would recommend and it's all right. I think I'm going to put it in it's all right, just because there's not loads there, but there could be. You know, if you went, there's definitely enough to see there. Like, I would probably argue it's got more than Linz, even though Linz is a much bigger place. But it just doesn't quite belong with, you know, Novi Sad and Budapest and Vienna. I think, is there a way to add a row? Yes, okay. I've added a row, and I'm going to call this in between. And I'm going to put Krems, Melk, and Vukovar in the in between. But I need to change the colours because this is going to annoy me. All right. There we go. I'm happy with that list, I think. I'm really annoyed about those tilted pictures, but we'll live with it. So, from bottom to top, don't need to go back. I've got Kalocsa and Mohacs, which are both in Hungary. Then in It's All Right, I've got Belgrade and Donji Milanovac, which are both in Serbia, and Linz, which is in Austria. In between, I've got Krems, Melk, which are both in Austria, and Vukovar, which is in Croatia. Would recommend, I've got Budapest, which is in Hungary, Novi Sad, which is in Serbia, Passau, which is in Germany, and Vienna, which is in Austria. Wow, I've covered a lot of countries in that one. And 100% love, I've got Bratislava, which is in Slovakia, and Dürnstein, which is in Austria. So there's my tier ranking. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been interesting and maybe even informative for you. If you've been to these places or any of them, let me know if you agree with my ranking of them or where I've popped them. If you are considering a TUI river cruise, I hope this has helped. I do really encourage it. I genuinely really like the products that we have to offer here. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to ask them down below in the comments. And I've got lots of videos going up on my channel about it anyway. But I'm happy with that, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.